We got to unify. Once again, thank you, everybody. Without y'all, I wouldn't be on this stage. This is truly an honor to be on this stage in such great company.
Welcome to Now in the Spotlight. Today we are diving into the case shaking the music world. The trial of Sean Diddy Combs. From platinum records to prison walls, how did one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop become the center of one of the most explosive criminal investigations in entertainment history? In this video, we're breaking down the timeline of events, from the earliest allegations to the criminal trial now underway. We'll look at the charges, the people involved, and what's at stake for Diddy, his empire, and the industry that once protected him. To understand the scope of this case, we have to start at the top. Sean Combs, known over the years as Puff Daddy P, Diddy, and even Love, isn't just a rapper. He's a mogul, a Grammy-winning artist, a fashion icon, a businessman, and for nearly 3 decades, a symbol of black wealth and ambition in American pop culture. He founded Bad Boy Records in 1993 and played a pivotal role in shaping the careers of the Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, Maze, and more. His influence expanded to television, liquor, fashion, and philanthropy. By 2023, his net worth was estimated at over $1 billion. Diddy's public image was carefully crafted. Extravagant parties, white suits, A-list friendships, and public displays of loyalty to his city, his industry, and his people. But in November 2023, the first major public crack appeared. A civil lawsuit filed by singer and former girlfriend Cassie Ventura alleged rape, trafficking, and years of brutal abuse. The case was settled within 24 hours, but it had already opened the floodgates. On November 16, 2023, singer and model Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend and artist on his label, filed a civil lawsuit in New York. It wasn't just a celebrity breakup gone wrong. Her 35-page complaint alleged a decade of horrific abuse. Cassie accused Combs of rape, physical violence, emotional manipulation, drugging, coercing her into freak-offs, drug-fueled, filmed sex parties involving male sex workers. She also claimed Diddy blew up a car belonging to Kid Cudi, whom she was rumored to be dating, to intimidate her. Cudi later confirmed his car had in fact exploded. Cassie's lawsuit included graphic descriptions of beatings, black eyes, bruises, and incidents that took place at hotels, parties, and during tours, all allegedly witnessed and enabled by Diddy's team. And then just 24 hours later, it was settled. No admission of guilt, no details revealed, just a joint statement confirming resolution. But the settlement wasn't the end. It was the beginning. In the following weeks, spurred by Cassie's courage, media attention, and a looming legal deadline under New York's Adult Survivors Act, more lawsuits rolled in. Dozens. Among them, Joy Dickerson-Neal, who accused Diddy of drugging and raping her in college in 1991 and showing the video to others without her consent. Eliza Gardner, who claimed Diddy and another man raped her and her friend in the 1990s when she was just 16 years old, and later choked her until she passed out. An anonymous woman who said she was gang raped at age 17 by Diddy and others at a party in 2003 after being given copious amounts of drugs and alcohol. Audria English, a former adult film actress, who claimed she was groomed into sex trafficking at Diddy's elite parties between 2004 and 2009. A male music producer, Rodney Jones Jr., who alleged that Diddy sexually assaulted him and pressured him into hiring sex workers as part of grooming rituals. Many of the claims shared shocking similarities. Promises of fame, drug use, video recordings, intimidation, and the use of Diddy's immense wealth and status as a shield. In early December, another woman accused Combs of raping her in retaliation for suggesting he was involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur. She said Diddy threatened her with a knife, warning, If I can get pack hit, what the F asterisk asterisk do you think can happen to you? Asterisk. By the end of December 2023, Diddy faced over 10 lawsuits, including claims from minors, men, and women, some dating back 30 years. Many cases were filed just before the expiration of temporary legal windows in New York that allowed victims to bypass statutes of limitations for historic sexual abuse cases. In January and February 2024, the number doubled again, and some lawsuits alleged child abuse as young as age 9. His spokesperson called the allegations a money grab. But behind the scenes, federal investigators were watching and preparing to act. By early 2024, Diddy wasn't just fighting lawsuits, he was under federal surveillance. And on March 25th, authorities made their move. That day, federal agents raided 2 of Diddy's mansions, one in Los Angeles and another in Miami. Both were stormed simultaneously. According to officials, the raids were part of an ongoing sex trafficking and racketeering investigation. What they allegedly discovered inside was shocking, even for investigators. Guns and ammunition, drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, surveillance equipment, footage of so-called freak-offs, cash and documents tied to payment of escorts and sex workers. In the weeks that followed, prosecutors quietly built their case. Then, in September 2024, Sean Combs was arrested in a Manhattan hotel room. The charges? 5 serious federal felonies. 1. Racketeering conspiracy under the RICO Act. 2. 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. 3. 2 counts of transporting people across state lines for prostitution. According to the federal indictment, between 2004 and 2024, Diddy ran what prosecutors described as a criminal sex trafficking enterprise. They say he forced women into sex acts with male sex workers, supplied drugs to make them obedient and compliant, filmed the encounters and used them for blackmail, paid off witnesses and threatened those who tried to leave, used his businesses, including Bad Boy Records, as cover. The freak-offs, as described in court, were highly organized. Staff allegedly booked hotel rooms, delivered drugs, hired sex workers, and cleaned up after. Some parties lasted for days. On September 17th, Combs appeared in federal court in New York. His lawyers pleaded not guilty and requested bail. But prosecutors said he was already trying to obstruct the investigation, allegedly contacting witnesses through proxies, using inmates' phones to hide communications, coercing others to post public messages in his defense. A judge agreed. Diddy was a risk to the case and should remain detained. He was sent to Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, a notoriously harsh facility also used to hold Ghislaine Maxwell and R. Kelly. He's been held there ever since. Over the next months, Combs' lawyers filed 4 bail appeals. Each one was denied. The judge cited credible threats, manipulation of witnesses, and Diddy's history of substance abuse and anger as key reasons. Even from behind bars, Diddy and his team pushed back. They said the case was racially motivated, that no white person had ever been prosecuted under similar conditions for using escorts. They claimed Diddy was being targeted as a powerful black man. His legal team also argued the charges were inflated, the relationships consensual, and that Diddy had been falsely portrayed by media and opportunists. Meanwhile, more lawsuits emerged, including one alleging Diddy dangled a woman off a 17th-floor balcony, and another that tied Jay-Z into a sex abuse claim. That case was later dropped, and Jay-Z countersued the accuser for defamation. By April 2025, prosecutors amended their indictment again, adding 2 more charges related to another alleged victim, referred to as Victim 2, who claims she was trafficked between 2021 and 2024. If found guilty, Diddy faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years and a maximum sentence of life in prison. His fortune, once estimated at $1 billion, has already dropped significantly. His reputation, career, and freedom now hang in the balance. And still, Diddy insists he's innocent. Eventually, he's going to be shown to be innocent, his attorney Mark Agnifilo told reporters. But the clock is ticking, and his trial is just beginning. The criminal trial of Sean Combs officially began on Monday, May 5, 2025, in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, one of the most watched courtrooms in the country. But before any testimony could begin, there was one crucial step: jury selection. This wasn't an ordinary case, and the jury couldn't be ordinary either. Because of the high-profile nature of the case, the court issued an extensive questionnaire to hundreds of potential jurors. They were asked about their knowledge of Sean Combs, their views on drugs, sex, violence, and domestic abuse, whether they had watched any documentaries or media coverage, their opinions about celebrities, rape, and the justice system. Combs' legal team even requested that potential jurors be questioned privately about sensitive topics, such as their own experiences with sexual violence, arguing that many would be more honest in writing than in public. The judge, Arun Subramanian, agreed to parts of the request, but insisted on keeping the process moving. Delays were not an option. By May 9th, the court planned to exercise peremptory strikes, a process where both sides can dismiss jurors without stating a reason. Eventually, a final jury of 12 members and 6 alternates would be chosen. During jury selection, potential jurors were shown a list of names likely to be mentioned in court, including Cassie Ventura, Kid Cudi, Kanye West, Adon Richard and Aubrey O'Day from Donity Kane, Michael B., Jordan, Mike Myers, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and more. Not all of these individuals are involved in the case, but they may appear in testimony, evidence, or context, and the court wanted to be sure the jury could remain objective. If the schedule holds, the trial will officially begin on May 12th with opening statements from both the prosecution and the defense. The prosecution plans to present 4 victims, including Cassie, who will testify in graphic detail, hotel surveillance footage of the 2016 assault, testimony from former employees and insiders, alleged financial and travel records tied to sex trafficking, a footage of freak-offs and evidence of threats, bribes, and coercion. The defense, on the other hand, argues that the footage is misleading or altered, that the relationships were consensual, that the charges are built on false claims from people seeking money or fame. They've challenged the chain of custody of key videos and argued that timelines have been manipulated to suit the prosecution's case. This trial isn't just about whether Sean Combs committed crimes. It's about whether his power and wealth protected him for decades, and whether a justice system that rarely convicts the rich and famous will do so now. The outcome could redefine how the music industry handles abuse, how future cases are prosecuted, and how far accountability can reach. For Diddy, the stakes are ultimate: freedom versus life in prison. For his accusers, it's about validation, justice, and being believed. The trial of Sean Diddy Combs is more than a celebrity scandal. It's a cultural moment, a reckoning. For decades, Diddy was untouchable, a titan of hip-hop, a black billionaire, a symbol of success. He threw parties with presidents, partied with princes, and held power that extended from record labels to liquor brands. But now his legacy is on the line. This trial raises uncomfortable questions. How many people knew? How did so many stay silent for so long? Did the industry protect him because of his power? And if these accusations are true, how deep does this go? It also speaks to the growing shift in public awareness, especially in the era of #MeToo, #MuteRKelly, and widespread institutional change. Victims are being believed. Powerful men are being held accountable. And the idea that fame equals immunity is slowly unraveling. But this case is still different. Because Diddy wasn't just another star, he was the system. He created artists. He shaped culture. He owned the rooms people wanted to be in. And now, those rooms are being subpoenaed. The trial is set to last 8 to 10 weeks, and more details are expected to emerge. Possibly even more witnesses, more evidence, and more fallout. Whether Diddy is convicted or cleared, this moment will leave a lasting mark on the music industry and beyond. So, how did we get here? The answer lies in decades of silence, power, manipulation, and now, finally, in the courage of people speaking up. That's it for today. Thanks for watching Now in the Spotlight. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your thoughts on the case. Who do you believe? What does this trial mean for the industry? Let's talk about it. See you in the next one.